Oops, forgot to plug in my ear things. Uh-oh. Forgot my ear stuff so I can hear myself. Welcome everybody to Spiritual Growth Journeys. Happy holidays. Today is Saturday, December 23rd. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, which we all know is a fake cabal holiday. That was a pagan. It was originally a whole bunch of different pagan holidays, including, I think, the birthday of Nimrod on the 25th and a lot of pagan stuff. I did a true story about this actually in my book, Walking with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. The link is down below in the description. If you don't have a copy of that, it's not available to the public. It's only available through me as an ebook because it's got super controversial info, but that's the true story of, or the true how do you want to say, life of Yeshua with his real birthday, which is April 14th, which they made tax day because he was trying to get rid of all the tax guys. That's his true birthday. But anyways, it's a long story. I still celebrate Christmas. Why? Because I celebrate it as a time with my family, a time to get together with family. And I also honor Yeshua, even though it's not really his birthday. It's kind of like when you celebrate your birthday at a different time of year. Some people do that. So I can still honor him. Absolutely. And I love the winter season. There's a lot of things about Christmas that are positive. I try to raise everything to its highest frequency and power. So I'm going to focus on all the positive aspects of the holiday, which is family and food and friends and happiness and wonderful and snow and snowmen and all kinds of fun things. Not the things that they have convinced everybody of. So anyways, welcome to my channel if you're new. Today I'm going to be talking, I had a conversation with him last night, and I asked him tons of questions about what is coming in 2024 and beyond, and kind of broke down crying a little, because of just out of gratitude, and also because I can't hug him. He's like there and I'm talking to him, but I can't like hug him physically, and that makes me sad. I want to be able to hug him, and I can't because he's in spirit form, Holy Spirit form, and also crying because of the information that I received. It's kind of happy and sad all at the same time. So I am going to ask you, do not shoot the messenger. I'm going to be giving you a lot of hardcore stuff. Some of you may freak out. I was actually shocked by some of the stuff I got. Very shocking information. Some of it I've already knew, honestly, because he told me this stuff back in 2019, and it's just kind of all coming to fruition. But some of it was very shocking. And so I'm going to do the best I can to go over all this because I have so many notes here. I'm going to try to get through them. Because I just scribbled as fast as I can and wrote so much stuff down, and it's kind of all over the place. So I'm going to be going back and forth to read the notes. But before I do that, I want to share a couple of announcements. I want to get those out of the way. Number one, I'm doing a video on Saturday, next Saturday, with Kat, my friend, Red Mountain Shaman. She's got a channel on YouTube, Red Mountain Shaman. Kat and I are doing a video exposing about the Elohim and the angels and the lies that people have been telling. There's a whole bunch of people on social media that are spiritual people and tarot card readers and different things that are bashing the Elohim and bashing the angels. And we're going to have a big talk about that. That's going to be on Saturday. And that's a bunch of lies. And actually, I had a dream last night I want to share with you all. I dreamt that, and if you all know this, dolphins are really high frequency. They have that Atlantean frequency. They're very high vibrational beings. I had a dream I was at a community center with all these families and children, and somebody had paid, and these people had paid money to come take their kids to see this dolphin that they were bringing in. They were bringing in a dolphin, which is a really high frequency being. And so they brought this dolphin in this truck, and there's all these families waiting to see this dolphin, and they have the dolphin in like a little tank. The dolphin jumps out of the tank and it's running around like on feet almost, and it's running everywhere. And I'm like, what the heck? And it actually comes after me, and it comes right in my face and tries to bite me. And there's these fangs coming out of it. And I'm like, dolphins don't have fangs. I take my hands and I rip apart the face, because this thing, I'm trying to hold it away because it's trying to eat my face. I rip it off, and it's not a real dolphin. It's a costume. And underneath is a very dirty, huge dog. It's a huge dog. It's a scary looking, like hound from hell. It looks like a hellhound, and it's filthy dirty. It's all covered with mud and everything. What this is about is I am going to be revealing, and I'm always revealing, a lot of the people out there who are what we call dirty dogs that are disguised in high vibrational spiritual clothing. So they're pretending to be these high vibe spiritual people who will tell you a bunch of good stuff, and then suddenly it switches to this dark other stuff. For example, I'm going to share this with you because Jenny Lee talked to me about this earlier. You know, Jenny Lee basically said that all these like card readers and different people and different spiritual people are starting to show who they really are and who they really serve. What do you call it? Clock, the debt clock, that special debt clock that they've been showing is basically showing angels on it all the time now. If you noticed, it has angels on it. And then the bad guys are all bashing the angels. Why are they bashing the angels? Because the angels are real and they are good. Of course, there were a group of fallen ones that came to earth, but the top ones, the archangels, are all good. There are no bad archangels. And we'll go into that in the video with Katrina. We'll talk about that. But anyways, there's these people who are starting to show. Jenny Lee was saying they will start to really show who they are serving. So the people who start bashing angels, they start bashing Elohim. Basically, they're showing what their true intentions are and who their real masters are that they serve. Okay. They start off looking really good, like the good guys, and then they start revealing who they really are. Okay. And they're doing things, they're basically doing things that are showing you a lot of darkness. When they idolize, like they have pictures of specific animals or things behind them that they really focus on that are very dark, just very dark, no light around them at all. And I don't want to say who the people, I'm not going to ever name names. I never name names about this, but most of you will know who I'm talking about. But there's a bunch of these people. Some of them are card readers, some of them are just spiritual people, and they're basically now all of a sudden they're bashing the angels. A lot of them are bashing Yeshua. Like you'll see these ones that say Yeshua never existed, or he's bad, or there are multiple versions of him. You know, the one thing I reveal in the book about him is the fact that there's just one of him that only existed in one timeline. There are no multiple timelines of Yeshua. There are not other versions. There's just him on the one timeline, and that's because he is the one true Christed being. And the Christed beings don't go and have alternate timelines of themselves. That's just not a thing. So anyway, so my dream was exposing a dirty dog that was to the public, and they paid money, that people are paying and giving their time to see a highly evolved spiritual being. And that highly evolved spiritual being is really a dirty dog hiding under the costume of a highly evolved spiritual being. And we're going to start revealing a bunch of these people to you. So, okay. So, and Jenny Lee, what was the other thing she said? She says that she's given challenges to all these people. She's given challenges to, I think, Elena Denon and a whole bunch of different people who are spreading like false information, and none of them want to take her up on them. None of them want to sit, because they know that she's got documents. She documents everything she does, and she's got proof and documentation, and they have nothing. And so she will always, she's gonna win basically, and they know that. And so they won't even bother like going head to head on her, having a debate like a live online on a video. All these people who are spreading the false crap, they will never ever go up against her because she will chew them up and spit them out. Kind of the way Carrie Cassidy does when Carrie Cassidy's interviewing people. She can really chew them up and spit them out because she wants the hard evidence and the truth and everything. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is a few weeks ago, I taught a quantum manifestation class. That is up on my website. It's fully recorded now. You can go in and sign up for it. It's only $111. It's going to help you manifest everything you could possibly want in your life: health, happiness, love, money, relationships, all of it. $111. You can listen to it as many times as you want once you sign on for it. And then when you do sign up and take the class, there's 2 documents. After you've taken the class, you can email me and say, I took your class. I want the manifestation affirmations and the infinity prayer I have. I've got 2 things that I'm going to send you after you take that class. But you have to prove that you've taken the class. You're not going to be able to just say, oh, I want that, and I haven't taken the class. You don't get it unless you actually took the class. So that's on my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, just like the title on my page, my channel. And please go to that and you can watch and I mean, you can go and sign up on the links there and take my manifestation course that's been pre-recorded. So there's that. The other thing I want to talk about really quick is we're getting close to we're getting closer to the day where I close down the ability to enroll for my women's retreat. So if you're female and you've been wanting to come hang out with me and learn from me and get to know me in person, not over the internet or over a phone, I am hosting with Reverend Sarah Nash and Rosemary Levesque, who are 2 other amazing psychic, medium, healers, and spiritual teachers. We are doing a women's self-care and healing retreat on Lake Coeur d'Alene in the state of Idaho on May 16th through the 19th or 20th, depending on when you want to take off from it, of this year, 2024. And that's on my website. There's a thing that says up at the top that says retreat. You can click on that and go to the page that's got retreat info. But it's only $777, which is a huge bargain because all of my friends who are all hosting retreats right now are all charging anywhere from $3,500 to $10,000 for their 3-day retreats. I'm charging $777 because I needed to charge enough to cover for all of our costs, because our costs for this are thousands of dollars for the house we're renting and everything. It's costing a lot of money. So we had to cover our expenses, and we have to, of course, cover our transportation costs and our food and just all this stuff. But we're charging an extremely low price. Usually when I've ever gone to any kind of program like that, I'm paying thousands of dollars, not $700. It's a really, really good deal. We're into it for the experience. It's all about the experience, not about trying to make money off of a bunch of people. So anyways, we only have a total of 20 spots available, but most of those are filled now. They're mostly filled. I only have a few left. So if you want, I think the max that we're taking are like 20 to 25 people, something like that, for this retreat. And we only have a few spots left. So if you want to sign up, you need to do it now, because I'm going to be closing down registration. It'll be closed definitely by February. But it might be closed before that, because once I have all the spots closed, that's it. And then we'll have a waiting list. So please go to my website for that. And I hope you will join me. It is going to be a total resting, recharging, healing. We're going to have singing, a lady coming and doing singing bowl healing with everybody laying down. I'm going to be doing chakra balancing and healing. I'm also going to teach you how to heal yourself and others like Yeshua did. I'm going to teach you that type of work, which is not the kind of energy healing that they teach you with all these certifications and, all the Reikis and all that other stuff. I'm going to be teaching you the way Christ was healing people. at the retreat. So that's going to be cool. You're going to learn all kinds of other healing modalities. You're going to learn how to communicate with crystals. You're going to learn how to communicate with your animal spirit guides. You're going to learn how to clear all your trauma. There's just all kinds of stuff you're going to do. You're going to get to do some empowerment activities. We're going to have a goddess movement thing. We're going to have these really fun empowerment kind of things in the evening that we're going to do. So, yeah, there's that. All right. So now that I've gotten all those things out of the way, I'm going to go over, oh my gosh, I've got so much stuff to go over here. I hope I can get through all this. So again, don't shoot the messenger. This is what I got. This really, really blew me away. Okay. So I asked questions that a lot of clients had, and then I asked my own questions. And so one of the things was, since 2019, so before what happened, the CO something, number 1 and number 9, before that happened, at the end of 2019, Yeshua had come to me and told me all about the Ascension and what was happening. And he also told me that by the time that the great solar event happened, that 70% of the people would probably be gone from here. Okay. So now here's where we are. Just since that scamdemic happened at the end of 2019, 40% of the world population is officially dead, gone, of what was there before. So if you took the original population, and that is from a combination of people who died from the illness, people who died from the cure for the illness, people who died from wars, famines, floods, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, fires, mass murders, just murders in general, killings. I mean, every day on my news locally, people are just being murdered like no tomorrow, especially in the cities, big cities. That's real bad. Terrorism, volcano eruptions, floods, famines, hurricanes, earthquakes. There was that big earthquake in Turkey where thousands of people died. There was a big fire in Hawaii where I don't know how many died. They're saying a few thousand at least. Mass sacrificing of babies and children, the bad guys, since 2019 have gone overboard to make sure that they do mass sacrifices, and that's because they're trying to usher in their demonic entities and the Antichrist and the not the apocalypse was the other word, Armageddon. They're doing stuff to try to bring on Armageddon and World War III. So they mass sacrifice probably millions of children since 2019. Then you have all the people who died again from that thing. You also have people who died from heart attacks, strokes, and all kinds of health issues as a result of all the stress, just all the stress in the world, all the bad things that have been happening as a result. It's caused a lot of people to die. And then people who didn't go to the doctor because they were locked up inside and couldn't go places, so they weren't able to get the medical help they needed, and they died. The suicides were over the top. I mean, there were just people committing suicide, especially young people, young kids, all over the place. And then apparently all of the countries in the world, this is something they're not showing on our news, but a lot of the countries around the world are now posting that they're having like 3,000 and something percent or 390% extra death rate from that thing, the thing that the cure. Yeah. So people are just dying off like no tomorrow. So between beginning of 2019 and now today, there are now officially 40% of the population that was here before is now dead. Yeah. And they'll never tell you that on the news. Never tell you that on the news. So that was shocking to me. I didn't realize it was that many. Now, if you want to know what happened to the souls of those people, well, it depends who they were. If they were high-level beings who went out because they were being martyrs, or it was just their time to go, or they contracted to go, they will, when the solar event hits, the people in heaven are ascending too. Everybody's ascending. It's not just us in this timeline in this universe and everything. The people in heaven who are ready for ascension, the ones who are ready to go to the next level, they will also be ascending as well. So anybody who's passed over and gone over to heaven, I can guarantee you they will also get booted up to 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever their next level is that they're due to go to. Okay, next question. Next question. I think I'm going to go backwards here because I'm going to do this one last. This is about the best way to prepare for ascension. Somebody asked the best way that they can prepare for ascension. I'll go over that later. The next thing that he talked about is he said in 2024, he's going to be helping the heads of the countries to change the world. So that was one thing he said. He said he would be working himself personally with the heads of all the countries to change the world. So that was something that he said. He said that the QFS thing is going to probably most likely happen within the next 50 days. That's not a guarantee. When I give dates, I do not guarantee it because there are timeline shifts. There's the bad guys that keep throwing a wrench in it. There's a lot of variables. So if everything goes according to plan, within the next 50 days, we have QFS, we have the revaluation. And I asked him about that too, and I'll go over that in a minute, but he said everybody this year, everybody on earth is going to receive healing. He said everyone on the earth will be healed of whatever it is they have, they're going to be healed. Okay. I said, is the great solar event going to happen in this year? And he said, yes. He calls it the great solar event, by the way. I don't. He's calling it the great solar event. And because I asked what was going to happen this year, you know, I asked different things. What do you want to share? I basically how I said it, because I have to be very specific. I said, can you tell me some of the things that are going to happen this year? And he said, great solar event is going to happen. And I said, how or what is going to happen? And he said, we are going to get a huge upgrade to the whole planet and everyone and everything on it. That's what he said. Okay, let me go back here in my notes. That's the how can I make sure I ascend? I got to go to page 3. I've got these all because I was going and asking different questions and going back and forth. So you're going to have to excuse me with this. I don't have a choice. This is just how it worked out. Let me find page 3. Page 3. Okay. So what's going to happen with the Ascension, the solar event? 20% of the bodies of the people that are here, 20% of the people that are left here, since everybody's gone now, of who's here now, are going to be getting walk-ins. And so the souls that are in those bodies are going to be leaving, or a lot of them don't have souls. So a lot of the non-player characters that you hear about will be getting a soul put into them. There will also be people who are regular people who are not ready to ascend, and their soul will be sent back home. That's where it will go. It will go back home. They'll get a life review, and then they'll go to another third density planet for more learning. Okay. 20% of the bodies will get a walk-in. Okay. Some of your family members, okay, their soul will be leaving, their body staying, and they will be leaving. And you may hear lots of yelling in the background. It is my daughter screaming and yelling. I don't know what she's screaming about. She's screaming at the cat, I believe. The cat, I heard her say bad kitty. So a cat's doing something bad. So if you hear somebody screaming bad kitty in the background, yeah, that's what's going on. Okay. 30% of the people who are here left now are going to be leaving through death. So 50% of the people will be leaving. That's what he said. And it scared the hell out of me at first, the way he said it. And then I had to specify, well, what's up with the 50%? So he said 50% are leaving, 30% are leaving through death, 20% their soul's leaving, and their body's not. They're going to have a walk-in. So that's how that's going to work. All right. So what is going to happen to the people who are leaving? Well, some of those people that are leaving are not going to have necessarily bad things happen. You have to understand, because I asked what's going to be happening. He said some of them will be going to higher densities. Okay. He said the white hats have already taken out a lot of the bad ETs, a lot of the Draco, a lot of the reptiles, a lot of the gray, the Vril, all those have been taken out, going all the way back to beginning of 2019. They've taken out a lot of them. But the people who are leaving, here's what will happen to them. The ones who are truly, truly evil will be getting a butt kicking, and some of them will go for rehab to a third density prison planet. Some of them will go to a hell-like kind of a situation. Some of them will be obliterated if they're just truly evil, like your Schwabs and Gates and those kind of people. They'll just get obliterated because they're just pure evil. They just keep reincarnating back in, doing the same evil crap over and over again. So they're just going to get obliterated. They'll be recycled back to source. You've got a lot of the people that are leaving that will are just going to go to 3D. They're just not ready to ascend. You've got some people who are going to be leaving here who are actually high-level light workers who will be leaving. There's a lot of my friends actually who know they're going to be leaving when the solar event happens. They're going to be ascending, but they're just going to go to their next gig. Some of them will go home to heaven. Some of them will go to their next gig. Some of them will go to heaven for a while and then go to their next gig. So there are a lot of people who will leave, they'll ascend, they'll die, whatever, or they'll switch out with a walk-in. But that soul will actually ascend. Okay, so there's a certain amount of those people that will. What determines if they ascend when they die, or if they're already in heaven and they ascend, is were they service to others? Are they a nice person? Are they good? Have they been doing their work? Are they at a certain level in their learning? And then they're going to go to the next level. Now, if they're total narcissists, they're evil, they're pedos, they're all those guys are all getting their butt kicked. Okay. Or they're going to go to third density for sure. So there's a lot of good people who who are not awake yet, who when the solar event happens, they're going to wind up going to their density because they're good people, but they're just not ready to ascend yet. They're just not at that part of their learning. They're what we call baby souls. And they're going to also go to that 3D. They're going to go through the same thing again on another kind of an earth with AI and all kinds of baloney. They're going to live out that kind of stuff because they're just not ready. And they may not be bad people. It's just that they're just not ready. So we can't interfere with people's soul plans. Everybody's on a different timing and a different soul plan, and you just need to be compassionate, patient, compassionate, and loving, because we don't really know. Nobody really knows. We can't determine what everybody's supposed to be doing and how. We can't control it. We can't control what people do with their soul plan. Okay, so I've had people say they don't understand why we haven't had the event yet, and they get angry. I've actually had arguments with Yeshua. I even called them a liar on the other side. I said, you guys lied to me, because the event was supposed to happen in 2020, then it was supposed to happen in 2021, then in 2022. 3 times it was supposed to happen and it didn't. And I asked him why, and what he said was, he said, we didn't lie to you. He said, we had to give the earth a little more time to heal, and the people more time to wake up. And here's why. Because when that thing hits, by the time it hits, anyone who's still asleep, they're out of here. They're either dying or they're getting a walk-in or whatever. They're out of here. Their soul, because the beings in heaven have determined that anyone who is that asleep when that thing hits, they're not ready to ascend. They're just not. So they will go to another 3D world. Now there's going to be more events happening this year that are going to wake them up, which I'll go into further on in this talk here. I will be explaining about the terrible things that will be happening this year to wake them up. Okay. Before the event happens, they have to be awake. So they're going to do their best to create events that will wake up everybody or most of the people that are here. Okay. So there will be those things happening, because if they're not awake, what I was shown, because I'm clairvoyant, so I see everything in movies, they showed me a vision of the planet actually splitting up into thousands of pieces and just blowing up and just cracking up when the solar wave hits the planet, the big one. When it hits, they showed the planet just cracking up if they didn't give it time to heal. So he told me that the beings up there in the ships, the good guys, have been sending healing energies, especially the Arcturians and the Andromedans, a lot of them, and the Syrians and some of the higher density beings. They've been sending a lot of healing frequencies to this planet to get it healed enough so it can sustain the wave. And the reason why it needs the healing is because the bad guys, the Alpha Draconis guys, have been decimating and destroying this planet with mining and drilling and tunneling and all kinds of stuff for thousands and millions of years. They've been actually millions of years. They've been destroying this planet. And so the planet needs some healing. It's got to go through some healing. And so that's why they are waiting. That's why the wave hasn't hit. The other reason why the wave hasn't hit is because he said, you, humanity, the collective consciousness, are actually in charge of that wave. Because we're not ready yet and we're not all awake, it's not hitting. So we need more of us awake. So there's going to be experiences created this year in different countries that are going to force people awake. Things like massive earthquakes, more volcanoes, more tsunamis, more hurricanes, because every time these awful things happen, more people wake up. And yes, lots of people are dying and leaving, but then also a lot of people wake up. So they have to be awake in order to stay here on Earth after the solar flash, to stay here to build the new Earth. Are going to be the people who are awake and have been doing a little bit of work on themselves, or realize that they have to change and start connecting with God and really working on themselves. Okay. He said there's going to be great happiness. So I asked different questions like, I kept saying, what else can we expect in 2024? He said there will be great happiness in 2024. And I said, why? And he said, financial prosperity. So there's going to be this quantum financial system's going to happen this year. And we're going to have great financial prosperity. Okay. Let's see what the next thing was. What's the next one? Trying to find number 4. No, the number 3. There's that. Number 1. There's number. Here we go. Yeah, okay. I said, so what else is going to happen this year? And he said, there's going to be a great reset. And that freaked me out, because when I hear term great reset, I think of Schwab and all his buddies at the New World Order, that group. I am so itchy. I think of the New World Order group when I hear that term reset. He said, this is going to be a positive reset. He said I asked, will we still have money? And he said, yes. And I said, well, how's that going to look? And he said, it's going to be gold backed money. Well, that's what they've been saying all along. I just wanted to get confirmation from him, because I don't believe all the yahoos on social media, all the truthers and patriots and all these guys that say, oh, QFS. They've been promising QFS. I've been hearing about it for 8 years now. 8 years. Oh, next week's going to be EBS and 10 Days of Darkness, and then we're going to have QFS, and everybody's going to be prosperous. And you hear this week after week after week for like 8 years. So I don't believe it. I only believe him. I believe him. That's it. So, so I said, what else do you want to say about 2024? He said, the future is in view now and good things are coming. The future is in view now and good things are coming. All the star seeds and light workers who came here to save the earth and help with Ascension will be getting their superpowers this year. Yay! I want my telepathy and my teleportation and my levitation. I actually was shown visions. This was back last year. They showed me visions of myself in the near future in a classroom with little kiddos, with children. And all my kids in the class were levitating in front of me. I had them levitating, and they were working on some computer kind of thing that was in the air, and they were levitating. And then the bell went off, and they all came back down and walked out the door and hugged me as they were going out and said, "Thank you, Mrs. Palm." And they each walked out the door. And so I had all these cute little levitating kids all wearing white and this big white, it was just awesome. I loved it. So anyways, so all the star seeds and light workers who came here, the high level ones who came here, the earth angels to save the earth and to help with the ascension process, will be getting their superpowers. The people who are going to 5D only, those are your family members who are totally not awake, who or who recently woke up, who are not high level star seeds and light workers. They're not going to get superpowers. Sorry, they're not going to get it. The ones especially that are asleep all the way up until the final moment, they're not going to get superpowers. What will happen to them is they'll go to fourth density. They'll stay here with us. Okay, they're going to stay here. If you have spouses and children who aren't awake, whatever, that are really good people, they're really loving people, which we'll talk about what you need to do to ascend. I have a list he gave me here. They're going to go to 4D. They'll be with us. And then we will be working with them and teaching them how to go to the next level, because they'll be open to the information at that point. So then we will help them, and then they will go in their lifetime. They will get to go to the next level. They'll get to graduate again, but it'll be a while. So they're going to go through an intermediary kind of stage, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see what's next. Let me go to number 5. Let's see. Where's my other pages? Number 5, so Great Reset, features review. Let me see where 5 is. Sorry, I kept going back and forth with him because I had client questions and different questions. And so my notes are just kind of crazy pants here. So sorry about this, guys. I know it's a lot of rumpling of paper. Okay. So the next question that somebody asked, how can I make sure I ascend? Or what do I need to do in order to get to the next level? I had a couple people ask that. So I asked Yeshua to share, because I have that actually in my book, Ascension 101, which was from him. I got him. And I have a lot of information on what you need to do to ascend. But I wanted him to give everybody just some basics right now in order of his thinking. So he said, number 1 was the first one, go sit and meditate every day. He said, every day you got to sit and meditate. No excuses, 5 minutes even, it doesn't matter, but at least once a day, a minimum of 5 minutes, go sit and meditate. Number 2, go heal your head. And I'm like, what do you mean by go heal your head? And he said, working on getting rid of negative emotions, wrong beliefs, trauma, negative thoughts, just negativity in general, working on your anxieties and your depressions and all that, just working on your head, healing your mind, healing your thoughts and your emotions and your beliefs and your trauma, all of that. And that is the work I do. I help people with. So if you need help with that, you can go to my website and schedule a private session, request it, contact me through the contact form, and I will help you with that. I do a lot of that work with people. I've been doing that work with people actually since 2011. Number 3, he said, go talk to God every day, no excuse. At least once a day, you need to be talking to God. And when you talk to God, you don't worship God. So this whole thing of worshiping God, that's actually a lie. We're not supposed to actually worship anything at all, period. God does not see itself as something that wants to be worshiped, and God does not want to be worshiped. That is an ego thing. God doesn't have a need to be worshiped. God is just unconditional love and mercy and forgiveness and grace and all these good things. God does not have a need to be worshiped because God is your parent. God created you. So just like your mom and dad created you in the womb, did you worship your parents? I hope to God not. No pun intended. I hope you didn't worship your parents, because that would not be a good thing. So So you basically, God is your parent. So when you talk to God like you're their parent. You talk with reverence and respect. You respect God, you revere God, just like you did your parents. I looked up to my parents. I respected them. I loved them. But did I worship them? No, I didn't go, Mom and Dad, woo, I worship you. No, you can pray. Prayer is your superpower. Okay. Yeshua wants you all praying every day. He wants you praying every single day. You can you can pray to God, you can lift people up, lift yourself up to God, but you don't worship anybody or anything. You shouldn't be worshiping. The whole idea of worship was created by the Draconians. Okay, that's a very Anunnaki. That was created by the egotistical Anunnaki, actually, the whole worshiping thing. And they're just really egotistical extraterrestrials, and they're the ones who created that. They're very, just egomaniacs. Nothing should ever be worshipped. God is your parent. They're like your mother, father, God. They created you, so you go to them the way you would go to your parent for help, and you ask for help. You say, God, I need your help. And that is how you talk, and you have a conversation with God, and you do it with respect and love and reverence, but you don't worship anything ever. Okay. So, so number 3, he said, go talk to God every day. Number 4, talk to him. This guy here, he wants to talk to you. He wants to have a relationship with you. And he thinks of himself as your brother. He does not want to be worshiped either at all. He never did. I talk about that in the book about him. He is your brother as far as you're concerned. Okay. He told us we are like gods and we'll do greater things than him. He does not want to be worshiped, but he wants you to come to him and ask him for help. And you have to ask out loud with your voice because he can't read your mind. Number 5. Okay. So let's go over these again really quick. Number 1, go sit and meditate every day. Number 2, go heal your head. Number 3, go talk to God every day. Number 4, and these are his stuff. He gave this to me. This did not come from me, Kimberly. This is his in the order of, I was writing as fast as I could. Number 4, or number 5, go to a place of inner peace. So do what it takes. I mean, go sit in a garden, go walk by the lake, go riding a bike, go sit and dig in your garden and plant flowers, go wash your dishes, go take a shower, go get a massage. Do things that give you inner peace every day. Every day, do something that gives you inner peace. Okay, so go to a place of inner peace. Number 6, constantly working on physical, emotional, and spiritual healing of yourself. You need to do the work because we're not going to, he said he's not going to wave a magic wand and make all your problems and your issues go away. You need to be willing to do the work on yourself. I've been working on myself my whole life since I was a teenager. I've been doing the work. Okay. Trauma, all that stuff. Constantly working on your physical body. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. He said every day you need to be taking care of your body. You need to be eating right, doing things to take care of yourself, working on your body, working on your emotions, doing the work on yourself every single day, every day working on yourself. Okay, that's number 6. Number 7, listen to high vibe music. That's what he said. He said, listen to high vibe music. And I said, Yeshua, what do you think is high vibe music? And he said, do not listen to 528 hertz. Now, I did a actual video with Stellar all about this. You can go to my YouTube list of videos and you'll see Stellar and me, and she explains all about how 528 is another trick from the dark ones. It's actually a bad thing to listen to, not a good thing. You want to be listening to 432 hertz. That is the sound of nature. So when you're out by a waterfall, that's 432 hertz. When you're at the ocean and the waves are crashing, that's 432 hertz. You want to listen to the sounds of nature, birds tweeting, bees. If you go to YouTube, there's videos with beehives. Those are really healing. The sound of birds singing in the forest is very healing. Listening to waterfalls, waves in the ocean, super healing. Or just listen to 432 hertz frequency music. Yeshua said that's the best thing to listen to right now. Number 8, that was number 7. Number 8, go help other humans and animals every day as much as possible. That's what he said. Go do service to others. Help as many humans as you can, whether it's helping an old lady cross the street. I'll be in the grocery store and there'll be these really short people that can't reach the high shelf, and I'm very tall. I'm a big girl. So I will reach the top shelf for them, especially grandmas and grandpas that are in the little mobile wheelchair things in the grocery store. I always help them. I open doors for people all the time that are carrying stuff, or even if they're not. Anytime if a neighbor needs my help, I come and help them. Anytime I see an opportunity, if there's a lost dog in the neighborhood, I'll go get them and I'll find its owner. I'll take care of them. For one time, we had a cat here at our house for like a week or two until we finally found its owner. So go help humans and animals as much as possible. That's number 8. 8's the infinity number. Next one, number 9. So give me 9 things. Go be happy. And I'm like, so what do you mean by go be happy? Well, he said, do things every day that bring you joy. So every day you should be doing things that bring yourself joy. Make a list of all the things that make you happy and be doing those things every day. Okay. All right. And I said, any other last thing that you want to say about that? And he said that he figures he's going to be healing the earth very soon. And that means the whole earth. He said, I feel that I will be healing the entire earth soon. All right, now let's go back to this thing because I kind of went backwards. Timeline split. So I asked about timeline splits, if there was going to be one. He said that it was healed, that there was going to be this timeline split because you hear people talking all over social media or all over about, oh, there's going to be a timeline split. Yes and no. That's not really what's going to happen. He said there was going to be a timeline split where some of us go to an AI dystopian timeline. That's actually not going to happen. He said that they healed it. Sorry, people, but that's what he said, that they healed it. What is going to happen? Let me. Back to this. Okay, so what's going to happen? Not a timeline split. What's going to happen is when the solar, what he calls a solar event happens, what will happen is the people who leave here, it will seem like a timeline split because they're going to be sent to other places. They'll be sent to another 3D planet or they'll be sent somewhere else. So that will kind of feel like a timeline split, but it's not really a timeline split. He said that the whole timeline split thing was healed. So he said now it's really just a matter of, oh, he's saying we're separating the wheat from the chaff when the flash hits, will be separated. So the bad guys will leave, will stay, and some of the good guys will leave too, who are going to go on to their next journey or whatever, or maybe they're not ready to ascend and they'll just go wherever. So there's that. But the timeline split, he said that is, he called it the dystopian artificial intelligence timeline. He said that was actually healed. Said it was healed. I don't know. Like I said, don't shoot the messenger. This is what he was saying. Okay. Can they still create another one? Maybe. I mean, they do all this time shit. They have all this technology. And when I say they, I'm talking the bad guys. They could still go in and create something, but he said it was healed. I asked about med beds. You're not going to like this. Okay. All you people who are obsessed about med bed technology, he said there are not going to be any med beds for us. God has heavenly technologies. After the solar event, I will, he was telling me, after the solar event, he said, Kimberly, will have 28 strands of DNA activated. He said, no med bed needed for higher density beings. Only the military industrial complex requires med beds or celestial chambers for their dark space forces And what they call the corporations, they have these the industrial military, the different corporations that Ishmael Perez is really good about explaining all this stuff, but they have these the corporations that are on the moon and Mars and stuff like that. All of those guys, they need med beds. Why do they need beds? Because all those people involved with all that shit are evil and bad and dark, and they're very low frequency, very low vibration. What he told me is, he said, Kimberly, the beings who are in the higher densities, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, especially, like the Andromedans and the Arcturians and all them, they don't need such thing as a celestial chamber or med bed. They have heavenly technology. Their body is the med bed. We will become a med bed. Our DNA, we will become crystalline. We'll become 48 and whatever strands of DNA. You will be healed when when the flash thing, the big one hits, when the big solar thing hits, event, he calls it the solar event. When we have that, your body will be transformed. It will no longer get sick. It will no longer get cancers. It will no longer get the V word. It will no longer need any medicine. There won't be a need for hospitals or any of that kind of crap. It won't happen. There'll be medical clinics, but they will be for if you're in an accident and you get injured, you're in a car accident, or you fall out of a tree, or you break something or something like that, then there will be healing places where you will go, and they will have what he called heavenly technologies that they will use. And he said, it's not a med bed. It's not what you think. He said those med beds are specifically used for the Draco, for the Greys, for the super soldiers out in space, because those are all low density beings. All and the military that they have working out there in space right now, those are all people who are all in 3D. They're all 3D people. Anybody who's 3D and lower, they're gonna need that. The people who are going to fifth density will not need med beds. Okay. Gaia will be completely healed. I asked what will happen after that solar event. He said Gaia will be healed. When the flash comes, and this is in alignment because Jenny Lee keeps talking about how she's going to be involved in putting people into putting the planet to sleep into a stasis so it can be healed. And I didn't understand what she was talking about. So I asked Yeshua about what she was talking about, because I needed to confirm that for myself. And he said, when the flash comes, we will be put in a stasis sleep for 5 years. So all the people who are staying here on Earth, we're going to be put in a stasis sleep. And I said, are we going to be physically on the Earth? And he said, no. So, the whole thing of the rapture, in a way, we're going to be raptured, but it's going to be a temporary rapture. So we're going to be taken into heaven. We'll be put into a stasis sleep for 5 years, and the earth will be healed during that time. And then we'll be put back down here to create our new earth. And that's what he's saying. And again, don't shoot the messenger. This is just what I'm getting. Okay. It's all very shocking and very weird to me. Okay, so when the flash comes, yeah, we'll be put in a stasis sleep for 5 years. Jenny Lee is going to be involved with that. She already knows all about it. So if you have questions for her, please ask her. She will answer all the questions about it. She knows all about it. So contact Jenny Lee about that. I just didn't know anything about it myself, and I wanted to know because inquiring minds want to know. So now here's where we get into some scary stuff. Unfortunately, I have to cover the bad. I covered a lot of good. I have to cover some bad. I mean, like I said, Yeshua said, we're all going to be happy this year. There's going to be a lot of happiness. So I said, how will the sleepers get woken up this year? How will they get woken up? And he said, we have, and this is how he put it. He said, we've got some hard hits coming. And I'm like, what do you mean by hard hits? He said there's going to be a lot of scare events. There's going to be a lot of like cataclysms that will happen, earthquakes and things that are going to, kill people. A lot of, the dark ones are going to have a lot of things, but the light is allowing the things to happen to wake people up. There's going to be a lot of those events. I hate having to talk about this. Okay, so the big scare event that will be the near-death experience for everyone on Earth to really shake them out of their total mind control is basically, if any of you are paying attention to what's going on with the military right now, you can pretty much see that that they're all getting into position. Germany just deployed troops to Lithuania. We've got America has troops in the Mediterranean near Israel. We've got all these things going on. So basically, there's going to be a scare event, World War III with China. And they will be using directed energy weapons. This is what he said. He's told me they will use. I said, well, are we going to be nuked? Will there be nuclear war? He said, no, they're going to pretend there is. It's going to be like a scare. They're going to tell you that it's nuclear war, whatever. But he said what they will be using is directed energy weapons on the big cities, just on the big cities. So he was saying that if you are awake right now, you need to get the hell out of the big cities. He was saying, get out, because they will be using those, what they did to Lahaina. They're going to do that on all the big cities. That was just like a trial run for them. Let's just put it that way. They will get larger areas. So you don't want to be in a big city because those are the ones that are going to get targeted. They will make it look like it's a nuclear war, but not a nuclear war. So they're not going to like wipe out all the population or anything like that, but they will hit big cities. So move out. And I hate to share this with people because it's not very happy, but that is the event that has to wake everybody up. It has to happen. Okay. The guy that they call Orange Man Bad, I'm not going to say a name. I don't want to get my channel shut down, but the guy that everybody loves who, you know, is quite a character and is in court like every day now. They're just one court case after another after another. He will never ever be sitting president in that office ever again. He will never be in that office ever again. And I said, why not? Or what's going on? He said he has his instructions. He has important things that he's going to do here on Earth. He has an important role on Earth, but it's not what you think it is, not what you've been told, and I'm not allowed to tell. He kind of gave me an idea of what's going to be going on with him. And he also told me, Yeshua told me some other things that are coming that I'm not allowed to share. Sorry, but I was told I had to keep a zip lip because we don't want the information out to the bad guys. And we also don't want to scare people. We don't want to cause any kind of people freaking out at all. So I'm not allowed to say anything. Will you be okay? Yes, there's nothing that's going to happen that's going to kill you or harm you at all. It's just going to be a little scary. And again, these are things that have to happen. So the people who are really going to have their butt kicked over all these things that are going to be happening are the sleepers. They're the ones, the people who are awake, not so much. Other than you're going to have to deal with your family members that are getting scared awake. So you're going to have to help them and to calm them down and get them to go to a place of peace. So, but this year is going to be a roller coaster ride. I was talking to Kat and she was blown away. We're doing the video on Saturday and she's like, oh, when Mary Magdalene was talking to me the other day, she literally used the same term that this year is going to be a roller coaster ride and that we're going on the up part of it right now. So, it's going to be a big roller coaster ride. Buckle your seatbelts. It won't be bad for you. You're going to live. You're going to stay in the future unless you know for a fact that you're leaving here. I have a lot of friends that know they're leaving here and they want to, they're ready to go and they're going to go to their next. They're going to ascend, but they're going to go off to their next, whatever they're going to do. So the rest of us are staying here. Don't be afraid. Don't go to fear. If you go to fear, you're going to lower your frequency and then you won't ascend. I gave you those 9 steps. Let's go back over those again one more time, actually. And go back over those. So I want to go over these steps to how do you ascend to the next level? What do you need to do? What do you need to make sure you do to ascend? Number 1, meditate daily. Number 2, go heal your head. Number 3, talk to God daily. Number 4, talk to Yeshua and ask him for help. He wants to help you. Number 5, go to a place of inner peace. Number 6, working on physical, emotional, spiritual stuff every day, taking care of your body, taking care of all that. Number 7, listen to 432 hertz frequency, or what you feel is high vibe music, whatever you feel is high vibe music. It could be a violin, it could be whatever. Number 8, go help other humans and animals, service to humanity, as we call it. And number 9, go be happy. Go do things that give you bliss and joy. The last thing I want to leave you with is something he told me, because he's been giving me a lot of lectures lately on stuff I need to do for me personally. Is he said, you have to be like a little child to enter the kingdom of heaven. We're restoring heaven back to earth. In order to get into that and to be in it every day, you are in fifth density every time you're getting a massage, you're laughing. Every time you're laughing, you're in 5D. Every time you're meditating, you're in 5D. Every time you're connecting with God, you're in 5D. Every time you're out in nature, you're in 5D. Every time you're doing anything that gives you bliss or joy, you are in 5D in those moments. So you need to be like a little child and learn how to have fun. He keeps telling me, go have fun, go have fun, go have fun. What do children do? They have fun, they play. You need to play more. You need to get creative and do goofy things. Go build a sandcastle with your kids, or even if you don't have kids, go run barefoot on the beach, play in the waves, go jump in a lake. If it's wintertime, go sledding. There's a commercial with these 3 old ladies that take seat cushions and go down the hill on the sled, and it makes them all feel like they're little children again. Go do those kind of things that make you like a little child. In order to enter 5D and higher, you have to be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. So that is my final word to you. And know that Gaia and everything on it will be healed supposedly this year. Again, don't shoot the messenger. That's what I'm saying. It's all going to go down this year. I've been listening to all these people who have been saying that, oh, it's not going to happen for 10 more years or 2 more years or blah, 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 blah. No, that's not true. Now, as far as the AI goes, we are going to have to fight an AI war in 1,000 years from now. That is true. What Ismail said about us fighting a war, there's going to be 1,000 years of peace. We will fight a war against the AI in 1,000 years. That is true. That has been remote viewed over and over again. We know that we're headed towards that. Now, that third density planet that all of the other people are going to be sent to, that is going to have dystopian AI baloney going on that planet. And they chose that. So they're going to experience that there when they go there. They'll reincarnate into a life of dystopian AI, crazy pants, Terminator crap. That is what they're going to experience. So when you say there's a timeline split and some people go to AI and some people, it's not a split. They're actually going to like leave and go to a place where they will experience that baloney. So it's not the timeline per se, because he said the timelines were all healed, is what he said. The timelines were healed. Okay. So again, I'm just repeating, I'm just the messenger. I'm just delivering a message from him. Okay. Yeah. Think of me as Saint Bernadette or something like that. I'm relaying the message from Mother Mary or whoever, but yeah, that's it. All right. So Merry Christmas to people who celebrate Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy solstice to all of the Wiccans and Druids out there. I've been a Druid in past lives multiple times, actually burned and drowned as a witch and all that fun stuff. So I wish you happy holidays wherever you are, whatever you celebrate. And I hope you will join me back here again next week, a week from today, when I have the video with Kat that I'll be putting up. And you'll learn all about the truth about the Elohim, the Anunnaki, the angels. Will cover all of that. And thank you so much for supporting this channel. My channels are not monetized, because when you do that, it's a huge red radar flag on YouTube, and then they literally shut you down. So I don't have anything monetized. If you wish to donate to me to help me out, there's, I think, a buy me a coffee link down below. It helps pay for some of my bills, like internet and computer bills and Zoom. I have to pay to record this on Zoom every month. There's just different things that I have to pay for. So it just helps offset some of those costs. Otherwise, my daily income comes from doing private sessions, counseling people and doing classes, and that's how I support my family. Otherwise, I have to go get a day job and quit helping anyone and doing any of this work at all. So that's how I make it on the planet. So until we go to 5D and the quantum, whatever we're going to have that's going to come through. So just be excited because according to him, all the stuff that happens this year is overall going to be actually really good. Even the bad things are good because the bad things are going to force people to wake up, and then that's going to usher in the good. So even though you might think of those things as bad, they're not really bad for us. They're just bad for people who need to wake up. So that's why you need to be really compassionate, really loving, and really supportive. So that's all I have to say. I wish everybody a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. You can find all my classes and books on my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, and I'll see you next time.